some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're gentle and wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight.
Right, good evening folks, welcome back to VP4TV. We're here for a one-loss side match in this year's Virtual World Snooker Championship, and it's between Mal255 and Mr. Sharky. The good news is both players are here. Race to 4, so it won't take long. I'm going to hedge my bets and say it'll be quite quick. I'm trying to read the chat there, what does it say? I'm still trying to read it. Hate watching this the next day on YouTube on TV as fast forwarding all this takes forever with a Sky remote. Well, good evening to all the music lovers. Obviously Semi-Pro still listens to his Wham albums. He hasn't had any musical education at all. But I don't think you can beat the odd little jig and reel now and again. So the room is up, let's get in. And Mr. Sharky on the right hand side. We'll have the lag for the break. Welcome to Tam, welcome to everybody else that's there. Welcome to Mark. So Mr. Sharky's going to win the lag, so he now has a choice of breaking or putting Mal in. Now Mal will be aggressive, we know that. And he came off worst against Albinario, who sent him here. Now according to Steve, Steve's away at the golf again today. It just shows you Steve's got a hard life, so he has. I mean, there's a guy who tinkers about with VP4 and then the rest of his week he's out in the golf course. He's got a really hard life. But then again, he's earned it. You know, he did all his hard work. Earned all his dosh. Right, I've had a quick drink. So, Mr. Sharky can't see the red, and that of course is the one you have to try and cover. But if he's going into the back of the pack, he's got to get it really tight onto those cluster of reds at the back there if he's going to avoid leaving Mal a shot. And I think he might have done that, although there's an awkward red up the table. He gets it, and he's off and running. This is going to spin too much, I think, unless it spins far enough. I think it has done. So, straight away we're getting to a point already in this visit where he wants to get an angle on that black, because these reds that are sort of loose around the pack, they're not really great for advancing the break. He would really like to get into them, trying to get to one on the left hand side, and that is good pace. If he's got there, he's just got there. Again, see, that's now too straight, so now he's going to struggle. He's going to have to work probably up the table with that one on the right of the pack, because he may end up trying to hold the black spot, although there's a slight angle there, but there's not an awful lot available to him now. Just a one red really, and I think he might be ducking for cover here. That's a sensible way to do it. So a little contribution with his first visit of 30 gets him up and running, and Mr. Sharky has to come up with a decent safety here. I can't believe he can see enough of that red where he's going to have a blast at it and scatter the reds everywhere. Probably a good thing that I don't think he can, because he might have been enticed into going for that, and it could be costly. Well, let's see if Mal's going to be interested in any of that. I wouldn't think so. Well, no sooner have I said that than he's took the bait himself, and Mr. Sharky. See, I would never have went for that. Never in a month of Sundays, if I had 30 points on the board, would I have went for that. And Mr. Sharky has a chance to respond. Again, the reds aren't sitting all that great. And that's going to be a foul, and that's unlucky. That's what can always happen when you go into the reds. And Mal, I don't think he's got a great position either, but that, well, he's got a red into the middle. So now this is a frame winning opportunity to build on that 30 points. Looking at the colours, pink shotward, black is available. So it should be a hefty score on the board here for Mal, and already have this first frame in the bag. And this is why I said it probably won't last that long, this. But it was unfortunate for Mr. Sharky. Did the right thing, potting the black, getting into the reds. But that can always happen. Especially, you know, you might look at the pack and you don't see any sort of plant on, but then, you know, maybe a ball gets nudged one way or the other and finds a pocket. There's nothing you can do about it. So Mal's lead is 59 and counting, and this frame will be all but over in a minute or so. Can get back across to the black here, I think, off this red. Should be able to. Looks as if he's got an angle. No, obviously didn't, because he decided to come back the other way. Now he needs the cannon off something, and that'll do. That's now got everything in play, and Mal doesn't hang about. So the task now is if he can have a nice tidy clearance here, and every reason he should, everything on the spot bar the pink. Although again, you don't want to be stuck to these cushions. So this is as quick as any professional frame with a decent break in it. Well, this is 2 decent breaks, and we're barely 8 minutes old in this first frame. Break goes to 62. That needs to bounce, probably take the pink. So that he's just gone a wee bit too far on the yellow. He still should be fine. If he wants, he can check the cue ball up a little bit, but he should be still fine. So that takes him to 71, and there's 25 on the table, so he can't quite get the century. But it's a hefty price that Mr. Sharky's paid. And Mal will be very pleased with his start, because he got in first with that little 30 run. and didn't take the risk. Mr. Sharky was the one that took the risk, and it's cost him severely. So a nice finish here by Mal, a break of 96, and we still have the high break of the tournament at 114 with semi-pro. So good start for Mal. Welcome to Vertical Liquid. Mr. Sharky again has a good opportunity. Roll the red in, roll through onto the black, but he's caught the jaws, and straight away, without breaking any rhythm here, Mal's in again. But again, he's got the one red at the back of the pack that will go into this bottom left as we look. So again, you've got to then look at that angle to get in and disturb those reds. Now I think with the angle he's got at the moment, he can just go through onto that red that's at the right side of the pack there. But he may well have left himself a wee bit short on it, because he wants to be able to go onto the black and leave an angle. So he's having to run up table, and now it all hinges on whether he's got enough angle in that green to come off the side rail on the right hand side and get into the pack, or whether he spotted anything in the pack. A quick look, he's went for the blue to have a blast. To me, the shot would have been the green if the angle was there to come off the side cushion and spin it into the bunch of reds. But Mal won't be complaining, because he's got away with it big time. And of course now we've got the pink and black dead in amongst the reds, so the opportunities for a big break here have pretty much gone out the window. Well, let's have a quick look at what he's got here. Well, if he's going to go off these and come around and try and get into baulk, he's in danger of, with the pace that he has to hit it, breaking things open. And that's certainly the safest way to go about it. Mal won't be interested in any of that stuff. He had a touch and ball, which allowed Mal just to play off that rail and back up into baulk. Plenty of room behind the blue, and the target area, of course, is right here. This is where you want to get to. So off the pack, like that, and down this angle. And that's going narrow. So we've now got a good target area for both players to look to get behind. This is a nice line. It's got the legs, and that was well played, because that now blocks the right side of the pack, and also the path on the left side has got to be really thin, and you've got to avoid running into that blue. There's still room behind the blue, but the angle that this cue ball's going to come off the cushion, it looks strong odds it might catch it. Well, he's played it well. This time Mal's got to watch cutting that red to the left, and hopefully he gets covered by the blue, because he's never guaranteed that he's going to get covered in baulk. So that red is now exposed. There is a shot on for Mr. Sharky, but the question is whether he can get that cue ball out of that end of the table, because it's no good the cue ball running into something and staying up there. He's not going to have a shot on a colour, really. Well, he's managed to avoid the traffic. Now that brown may well be covered, but he can work in the blue, get it on its spot. He needs to get that done fairly quickly. Black's now in the open, and needs to land good on a red here. And I say good from the point of view that he doesn't have to work hard to get on to the next colour, but again, stunning the cue ball has stunned it into the jaws. And Mal's got a straight in red to start with. Now he can run this black into the right side pocket and come back up and down the table, or he can hold the cue ball and cut this up the rail, the blue. That was nice pace. The blue now on its spot. He's left that a bit short. Now he can be really aggressive here if he wants to be playing this black and breaking into the reds. Well, he was a lot more gentle, and I think looking at where that red's gone, and that's again unfortunate for Mal this time. Maybe if he had hit them harder, that might have never happened. He played it well controlled, but again, just an unlucky roll. The one red that nudged out of the bunch there is the one that went into the pocket. Well, Mr. Sharky comes to the table, I don't think, with an awful lot on, unfortunately. So he's not getting a nice easy start, which I think is what he needs to try and get himself rolling here, because he's not got an awful lot of time to get started. 1-0 down, there's no time for messing about. Well, this is all about just trying to judge the weight of that shot to try and keep it in, and then of course avoiding hitting a bulk colour. Now let's have a quick look at this black to see what's happened. Now it's on its spot. Well, it still goes in the one pocket. I don't know that you can get behind these at that angle. No. And of course, the other thing with that red being bumped into the open, he's got to sink this yellow. Has to try and stun this past the green, I believe, because if he just hits this, very strong likelihood he could catch the green. Now, well, he is making up his mind. He is going for the yellow. He's got to get a wee bit of dig in this, I think, to avoid that green. Well, he's playing it gentle, so in fact he's trying to get cover behind the green, and Mal will have a go at this red. He's going to roll that in. Well, the red just above the black as we look would be the target ball to try and get to if you were playing the blue, but he's took the yellow instead because he had a good line to hold for that red to the left of the pink there. And good evening to Matt. Well, he was actually trying to come around the other side of the black there. I don't think he was, I mean, he was either planning to run into it and get lucky, or he was planning to avoid it. I can't believe he was trying to get lucky, so I was thinking he was wanting around the other side to get on that red that he's near into the left-hand corner pocket as we look. And that was well played. A nice little cut. Well, does that red go behind the pink? It must be tight. Yeah, too tight. So Mr. Sharky's coming to the table with all the reds on and has to dish up. Simple as that. He has to let Mal know that he's capable of taking these opportunities. This is a perfect opportunity, and you've got to produce it when it matters. And there's no better time than now, because this frame was almost running away from him, and Mal convinced himself he could squeeze that red in there. And Mr. Sharky, well, is that black going to just block that red? Well, it's blocked that one, but the one at the back, it goes. He's just got to come out the other side. Oh, he's got to be a bit braver than that, though. I mean, if he overhits it, he's got the pink, and he chickened out. And that's a poor effort by Mr. Sharky, and having to take on a tough pink to keep it going. Good recovery. Now he just needs a little dig here in the cue ball just to hold for the black into the same pocket. I needed to dig into it a bit better than that, though. Again, he's just not getting into the cue ball. He's now going to be running away, and this is no good. If he plays the black, he's running up the table, and he'll be lucky he can see the red. So if I was Mr. Sharky, I'd be looking behind that green. That's where I'd be going. I mean, I think he's got to play the sensible shot, and that wasn't it. The target would have been play the brown and get the cue ball up behind the green if that was me, and he might find himself in trouble in a minute. Mal might have a go at the double and just leave the cue ball there. That was always in the cards. So Mr. Sharky's shot choice was wrong. It's all very well trying to be aggressive, but you've got to get yourself in a good position where you can afford to be aggressive. And he's got a deficit to get rid of first of all, and he might have been able to get a few points there if he had Mal in a snooker, which he could have easily got behind that blue and pink if he'd played the brown to drop behind the green. And he either didn't see the shot or didn't think it was positive enough for him. But I think you've got to attack and defend at the right times in this game. And now he's finding himself in a bit of a hole, hoping to get out of it and not leave this red on, because if he does, this frame's over. Well, that was absolutely nowhere near the line whatsoever on that red. I mean, a snooker player would have got a lot closer to that, Mr. Sharky. That was a pretty poor effort. I mean, it's a big target, that red, to hit. And you would think he's going to have a much better adjustment this time to hit it. Now he's gone the other side. Now he has to hope he doesn't leave a free ball, which he hasn't, but he'll get another go at it. Mal won't be interested in that. And again, he's at what, 3 goes at that and still not been able to hit it. I think what he should be doing is just rolling onto the red for a start. He should just be rolling dead weight to that red. He'd be really unlucky to leave it on anywhere easy. And now that he's hit it, he has to hope the yellow comes to his rescue. But it hasn't. So that sequence of events for Mr. Sharky really all came about the fact that he didn't play a safety when he had a decent safety on, playing off that brown and putting Mal in trouble when he was trying to get back into the frame, and now he's watching it disappear. So Mal 31 in front. The yellow just secures the frame even more. Well, hoping to get a nice little brush off the brown there, but he's got the double. He can have a go at that. So 2-0 to Mal, and 2-0 after 25 minutes. Well, you've got to tighten the belt, Mr. Sharky. You know, you've got to get into some messing Mal about stuff here to try and break his rhythm and make the move at the right time. And that red exposed again. None of these guys seem interested in trying the break that I've been talking about. Well, it's a good outcome for Mal. I'd never be apologising. Never apologise. Well, I'm looking at the line from this end of the table, and this is going to go wide, way wide. You can tell that straight away. I mean, was he trying to bump a red at the back there? We'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but I don't think he's left anything on for Mal, and Mal might put him back in here. Give him another go at that. Well, Mal has decided he's going to play and try and get behind the green and brown. Needs to miss the yellow or get a good bump off it. Well, this red at the extreme right here is the one he's going to play to get back to ball. He's going to be cutting towards the pocket though. That's the danger with that shot. And same, the fact that he can only see an extreme edge in the one on the left hand side as we look. So he's got to be careful here. But there's a good line off this left hand side of the pack to get up behind that green and brown. He's just got to watch how he catches this. Didn't have the legs. And Mal's got a fairly easy safety. He can... Well, I don't know what he's doing. Is he going for the pot? He can overcut the red. Yeah, like that, and get back to ball. That's the right shot, although he's a bit pacey. Right idea, just a bit too heavy. Who didn't foul? What did I miss there? Oh, I mean, I've been watching snooker for 40 odd years, Tam, and I've never found it boring. I've found certain matches boring in times gone by, I'll admit that. So Mal in again, and once again he's got not a lot of time to mess about here until he has to get something good on these reds. And again he's left himself a bit short. Now he's going to try running through the pack, but the angle he had wasn't great, so the recovery shot will be off the blue, and he might be trying to finish. Well, I think he's again trying to get a lucky roll here. He has done, and pushing through to get that red out of the way. He's missed the red again. He hasn't left anything dead simple. If that red go, well, it does go. I didn't think it went, but it just squeezes past the pink. But I think the pink goes as well, which is handy. Well, this is not a difficult shot, just a little dink along rail, but get the cue ball out this time. Don't chicken out. And he said there was no conviction with that, I don't think. And that red there, he should never have been missing that red. They are not difficult, those reds. But he's playing a little bit nervy because he knows that the punishment can be severe. You've got to blank that out your mind. But if Mal can get the shot on this black, it's not great. How's his luck? Well, that's not worked out too good, I don't think, because that red is blocking the one over the middle pocket. I don't think he wants to be taking a plant at that distance, and that was just too tough. So once again, Mal being the aggressor, Mr. Sharky has a table where he should be scoring, you know, 50 or 60 odd. He should be making a frame winning break if he can get this cue ball under control. Problem is, he might be sitting looking at the scoreboard. That might be his problem. He should be just looking at the table, and you know, it might be hard to do, but it's a one way of going about things. You know, you're 2-0 down. You know you're behind in the frame, so just look at the table and look at what you're doing and what you're going to do next, and block it out your mind, and don't get careless. It's probably the best advice you can give. Let's have a look and see how he is here. So, I mean, even with this setup here, you've got to be playing for a red. Is he trying to get the one to the right of the pink? Well, he's on it. He's on the straight one just to roll through, but doesn't want to roll through dead straight in this black. See, that's almost straight. So now he's going to have to move the cue ball or kill it and come back. Well, he's gone for the big draw, and that has worked out. So anywhere in the middle of the table is what you're looking for here. I mean, you don't have to play for a specific spot. You just need to get the cue ball up the table and don't go behind a red. Now again, that red that he's looking at there is the one he would just stun in to get on the black. It's not a problem. Just got to stroke the cue through. Nice angle in the black. Just again to get up the table. That's all you're looking to do here. You're going to have a choice of reds one way or another. But again, he's heading towards that red. And, well, he's okay. Now with this shot here, you can either check it up and hold for the pink, or come across the table, I think, for the black. He's got to bounce. Well, I would think he's rolling the pink into the side. And just let the cue ball roll through. It's heading up towards the blue here, I think. But he's played it at a nice pace to hold for the red. So the break goes to 55. And this is now well in Mr. Sharky's hands. He's just got to keep focused. There's not a problem in the table. It's just about not getting too loose, and that's just a wee bit loose. He's now left it awkward. He's 38 in front, there's still 43 in the table, and he needs this red. And that's well played. That needs to bounce as well. Not so much important that it bounced a great deal, because he can actually play that red into the middle pocket if he just drops through, or run it up table. He's run too far, so he'll be running it up table. And it is a good response from Mr. Sharky, given that opportunity. And again, well, he's trying to drop it in the middle. That was well done. And it just lets Mal know that, you know, do something and leave me some reds and colours to go for, and I'll do it. I like that response. Now this needs a nice little bounce here and a little kiss, and I think that'll do the trick. And that is absolutely perfect. He can stun up. He doesn't want to let the cue ball leak away too far. And that'll do, because you can come back across for the brown in the same pocket, I think, with that angle. Break goes to 77. And this will get Mr. Sharky's rhythm going. Now can he clear the table? Just what the doctor ordered, wrong side of the blue, but loads of room to come around to get on that pink. I mean, he can roll through and leave it at distance, but loads of room to manoeuvre the cue ball. And he watches the cue ball scratching, I think. That will finish the break. And the break ends on 84. That was well done. So Mr. Sharky is in the match. He has to get behind the green, and he hasn't, I don't think. So once again, a chance on this red. Just like real life pro snooker as far as that goes, because the main thing the guys are worried about now in real life is leaving that red exposed on the left or right hand side. If you're not getting covered behind a bulk colour, the incoming player's usually potting that red. And this time, well, that was actually a touching ball there, where the cue ball was. And Mr. Sharky's got a chance to get started here. If he can get good and get out on that black, he's got he's got 4 reds he can work with. Hang on a minute. What's he done here? Well, that ain't good. He's got to play the green here, I think. And if he doesn't get the hit on it, he'll leave certainly one red on for Mal. He's got to play this sort of dead weight just to roll to it, I think. That's going to go wide again. So now he should be able to make that adjustment if he can, but I don't think Mal will be interested. I think Mal's going to be straight in the red. Well, there is an angle there if he wants to be aggressive again, but there's a couple of reds in the open, but he's gone straight into them, and that I was looking to see if that red there went into the side, and it doesn't. It's way too tight, and Mal needs a recovery shot here. He's still on the black, but it's not a gimme. Green looks the easiest shot. Again, just to get back up the table. And that's right into the area you want to be. You want to be in that sort of area to get a choice, and this might not finish that great. There's a red there into the side. It's a bit of a cut, but he can actually just come off this red if he cuts it in and draws down for the black. And now he's in good shape here. Good evening. Get away for the cushion. Well, these reds aren't sitting all that bad. And already Mal's building up a healthy little lead here early on in this frame. That's gone a wee bit short. And he wanted that red to the left of the cue ball to come back onto the black. But he landed nicely on the one at the side. And now he's almost back in business here. He's just having to work a wee bit. But fortunately he's got the pink and black to work with, so everything's looking good. Break goes to 36. Lead goes to 39. And I'm going to say it, a chance for the new high run in this tournament. And again, no reason why it shouldn't be. The only problem reds are the ones around the pink, the two to the right of the pink. But so this is where you've got to tidy up balls here. That red that he's just played on, getting rid of that, gets rid of that red, which opens the other red into the middle and the corner pocket. So that is a good move. So this was the problem red in continuing in this break, and as soon as he gets rid of that one, he'll be good to go here. Now again, he can maybe play in that area up. Well, I thought he might have enough angle to get up there, but he's left the the longer red into the side, which isn't bad. The only problem is he's left himself short in the blue, so now he's going to have to leave himself longer in the red. So now he has the chance to get on that last red to the left of the pink, the one furthest to the left. Whether he's well, he's got the angle to get up top above it, and that is perfect. It needs to keep going. Now the question is whether he wants to come straight back off it or roll through, and he's again just left himself a bit short there. Could still get a good angle to get back onto this red up this side, and that's perfect, well controlled. And the brake goes to 94, and it's now going to go to 102, well 101 with the pink, which will drop him down onto the yellow. And well, barring an almighty mistake here by Mal, we should now have a new highest break of the tournament. Watch the cue ball. Good evening, good afternoon to Bill. Just joined at the right time. Mal taking a 3-1 lead in this race to 4. And looking, oh again he's gone too close to the cushion here. Well, he can just dink this in. So that now is a new high break. 121 and 128 is a new high run for the tournament by Mal. I knew it was never going to last the tournament. So that now secures a very healthy lead for Mal, and that's what he's capable of given the chance. So that's now the new target, and well, not a bad break, but there's just enough of that red showing for Mal. And we'll find out how aggressive Mal wants to be here. He could roll up in behind the brown, or he can stun the brown in. Well, that wasn't the greatest of roll-ups behind the brown, but he's not left anything particularly easy. Well, we've had a 96 and 84 from Mr. Sharky, and that 128 from Mal. Well, that red's going to be wide open. The only saving grace here for Mr. Sharky is the black's not doing anything great where it's sitting, and Mal's pretty straight in the red. Needs a bump, and that'll do. Well, now he's got an angle on the green where he can try and fire into those reds. Looks a pretty good angle. He hasn't got there. I think he needed to get a bit of spin and right spin in the cue ball to go further up the cushion on the left hand side so he could find a line into the pack. Well, that's never a bad thing with the reds all being tight. I don't think there's anything doing in that bunch of reds. I mean, it's just 4 points you lose, so there's no harm done there with that shot. Question is whether Mr. Sharky wants to play the safety himself or whether he wants to give it to Mal. Well, again, off this red, if it misses the black, it's going to squirt out and may well be left on. Just like that. So he now needs cover behind the brown or the blue or yellow. And now that's ended up good. Well, you wouldn't think you're going to give an awful lot away here if you leave that red on for Mr. Sharky, because obviously there's only another red out in the open. Now, if he comes into the right-hand side of the pack, if he can find a line that way, he'll cover that red. Well, it's gone too far the other side, so Mr. Sharky has a chance. That's actually brought out another red into play. So pot the red, get the black back in its spot, and if he can get that opportunity, get that angle in the black to get into these reds. But there's no harm in taking what's there to start with, but if he might, well, he's gone dead straight in the black, so just a roll through. Got to roll through far enough though. You see again, he's just chickened out there. He needed to roll through another foot, you know, to about there, at least to have a much better shot in the red. So he's probably just bumping this out the way and leaving the cue ball there. That'd be my advice. Or skimming off the pack and ducking for cover up table. Use that brown and blue to cover this red again. I wouldn't be doing this. I mean, the opportunity's there to duck for cover up here behind the yellow, brown and blue. That's a shot. He's messing about up here. I don't like it. You see, that's just giving Mal a free shot. A free. Well, has the red covered the other one? Maybe he's got away with it. Let's have a look. No, he hasn't. I mean, I can't believe he didn't see that shot off this edge of the red there, down here and around and in behind the yellow, brown and blue to get covered. I can't believe he didn't see that shot, because that's what I'd have been playing. I wouldn't have been trying to get dinky behind the black there when all you've done is just left a shot on for Mal to get started. So there's no doubt that Mr. Sharky can pop balls and string them together and make a run, but a couple of shot choices I would never have entertained him at all. Now, just while they're I didn't think that was on. Mal obviously thought it was. Just while they're messing about here, just let me go to the bracket and just give you guys a quick update. Matt is waiting on the winner of this match. Now that third red in is the shot to nothing here. Oh, he's caught. It's all went wrong because that was the one he was playing for. And he was playing for the third red that was in there to cut it into the corner and get back up the table, but he's obviously collided with something in the way there. And it could be game, set and match here in a few minutes. What's that? LS3? Hype 8 ball Hugh, second best tourney of the week. Well, the next Virtual World Championships is either going to be 8-ball on the bar table, remember. Semi will be all for that. Or straight pool, which will be on normal pockets to what it was originally set at when Semi got his high run. So the decision is going to have to be made soon. And I'm thinking Steve's more inclined to go for 8-ball bar. 8-ball on the bar table. And not that I've got anything against it, because I really enjoyed that tournament. Now, what's Mal got here? Not a lot is the answer. Now, he looks as if he's trying to skim an edge of the red here and duck up table. That's what he's maybe trying. Yeah, he got it full in the face. He may well take that though, because there's nothing easy on here. There's definitely nothing easy. What, 8-ball in the bar table and straight pool? Oh, you want to put that proposal to Steve then? Oh, that's a poor one from Mr. Sharky. That may well be his last shot in this year's championship. I think it more than likely will be. Mal, again, with a healthy little lead and plenty to choose from here. It's all about just getting over the line. Oh, are you the only one signed up for that? See, Potman, if Potman was here a bit more regularly, he would normally play in it. So Mal is really just completing the formalities here. He's already over the line pretty much. There's only 43 left in the table. And already Mr. Sharky is needing, well, commentator's eye and commentator's voodoo has given Mr. Sharky a lifeline, albeit a thin one. With 2 reds still in the table, I wouldn't be quitting, because the first priority here is to get that red and get the black, and then try and get a snooker on this last red while it's in the table. Well, he's got to go for the cut in that red into the side. Maybe it's a lot worse looking from his angle. Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, it's way too square. Well, whatever he does do, he's got to get this one. I mean, if you can get this and get rid of the black, then he can work with that last red. I mean, the balls are sitting not too bad for a snooker. The way the blue and the brown are lined up, and the way this yellow is. This is a fairly big area to get the cue ball into, or get the red into, one way or the other. But he's got to get this first party done. Got to get this in the hole, or at least duck for cover, whatever he's going to do. Well, that isn't it, because Mal's going to have a go at that red up top. No, he's not, because I thought it would squeeze behind the black, but it doesn't. Well, he can overcut it in between the pink and black. That's what he should be doing. And just coming back down the table here, just overcut it. No, it's definitely not going past the black, so The shot is to overcut the red that way, or have a go at the double and put Mr. Sharky in trouble that way. That's a good outcome. I like that idea. But now the safety area for the reds is over by the black. So that's exactly what Mr. Sharky's doing. Now Mal will have a look, because that is a big pocket now. It is a big pocket, and he'll have a go at that, I think, if he can see it. Yeah. There you go. And that seals the deal. Well, I don't know whether Mr. Sharky looked at that space behind the black ball there. So, well done to Mal. 2 very good breaks he's had. Mr. Sharky responded with 1. Mal, though, now has the highest break of the tournament, 128. So that's a new target. And Mal now will play MC Clarkey in the next round on the 1-loss side. So here's a little tricky one for Mal to work out. How to get on this pink. Wrong side of the blue and pretty straight. So it's going to be the double. And that concludes the proceedings for this evening. We'll have a look at the remaining match on the schedule. Larry missing in action, usually have some epic battles with him in the 8-ball. Larry's probably playing poker. I think that's what he usually does. So, Mal, very good looking tonight. Mr. Sharky, well, he made his mistakes early on, and then he did get a response to win that second frame, but Mal had a grip of it and was scoring heavily when he was getting a chance, and he's now through. So good luck in the next round to both players. It should be a good match between those two, both from the UK, so there shouldn't be a problem in arranging a time to get it played. So we'll now look at what's left, and we have the match. In fact, there's 2 matches now. There's the match between Albinario and Semi-Pro at 8 PM on Sunday night, and British Summertime, of course. And we also have a match between Barkers and his Eric on Monday at 2:30 in the afternoon. The problem with that is I'll be coming home from work at that time, and by the time I get home, it will be probably after 2:30 when I get home. I need to get something to eat, so I probably won't be covering that match either. It's touch and go whether I'll be doing that Albinario Semi-Pro one. If Slim's around on Sunday night, it'd be better if he was available to do it. I don't know whether he will be, but of course that's not Sunday night for him. For Slim, that's like 2 in the afternoon or something, or 3 in the afternoon. A quick look also, just before we conclude, if I can get the what the hell's happened to this search bar? Why is it not allowing me to type? Let me do a quick refresh. Ah, wait a minute, there we go. Let me do this. And we'll go to the bank pool. And we can see that Albinario is set to play Matt tomorrow night at 8 PM. And of course that's around, what is it, a round 3 match or something? And it's a race to 6. And that starts at 8 PM tomorrow night. Again, I mean, I'm back at work on Friday, so I mean that could be. I mean, these matches do go reasonably quick, and it still might do. So 8, 9, 10. Let's say it lasts 2 hours at the most. That's still 10 o'clock, so I may well cover that tomorrow night. So that is definitely it tonight, folks. Well done to Mal, and good luck in the next round to both players. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night if you want to join us to cover that match between Albie and Matt. And we saw Matt was banking pretty well, so it should be very interesting to see how Albie stands up to it. And until then, take care, thanks for joining us, and we will see you all again soon. Good night.